Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning Sunday service this morning. Thank you, Yui-chan. So last night, I went to White River Buddhist Temple's Bon Odori. I think some of you also went to their Bon Odori. They had a Bon Odori in person, only the limited, they didn't have a public event, but they only invited White River Buddhist Temple's members and some friends. Now, I was also able to attend last night White River Buddhist Temple's Bon Odori. I really see in-person Bon Odori is really nice. Hopefully we can have a Bon Odori in person next year, right? We are hoping, yeah. I think we are all hoping, we can have a Bon Odori in person next year. But I also enjoy the virtual Bon Odori. My son is really likes Seattle Bets in the virtual Bon Odori. He's watching almost every day, a couple of times. So every day in the morning, turn on the YouTube Seattle Bets in Bon Odori YouTube, then dancing every day. So yeah, he's getting better, much better, improving a lot. So then from Seattle Betsin, youth group also went to attend White River Buddhist Temple's Bon Odori. Then Friday and Saturday, we had a Northwest Youth Buddhist League summer retreat. So before the pandemic, they used to stay overnight at the temple, but because of the pandemic, Friday, like 10 to 3 or 10 to 4 p.m., they had a program here at the temple. Then Saturday, they went to White River Buddhist Temple's Bon Odori. So at the opening service on Friday, I told them, we had a sutra chanting. Before sutra chanting, we had a few minutes meditation, just quietly sitting. Then after that, we chanted the sutra. So I told them, so nowadays, we are doing more than one thing at the same time. Multiple tasks every time. While watching the TV, while watching the Mariners game, I'm checking that email as well. While I'm driving, I'm talking to somebody else. So most of the time, lot of the time, in the office also, lots of people has two or more than one screens in the office. So checking multiple things. So that's our kind of daily life, right? But Buddhism is saying, focus on here and now, here and now. Just concentrate, focusing. That's one practice of Buddhism. So coming up to incense offering, we focus on offering incense. We put our hands together and gassho. During the sutra chanting, we just focus, concentrate to chant, concentrate to pronounce each word. Sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, Amida Buddha's teaching, we are trying to focus on pronouncing each word. That's our practice. I think that's really important. So sometimes, including me, some people cannot concentrate, focus to do one thing. So probably, during the meditation or during the sutra chanting could be one practice for us to concentrate in your daily life. That's my suggestion to the youth people, but this is not only to the youth people, adults too. We sometimes, our mind is too busy, then thinking too many things. So at least, let's say once a week, come to Sunday service. At that time, maybe we can put the cell phone away, or we don't have to see the screen. Well, those who are attending this service virtually, probably they're using the cell phone or computer, they're watching a screen, but maybe just focus on one thing during the service. At least one Sunday service, we focus. We do one thing at one time. If we can try to do it every day, that's nice. In the morning or in the afternoon, that's nice. But at least once a week during the Sunday service, we focus on doing one thing. So then at the opening service, I also introduced one story. It's called Kayoko Zakura. This is a story based on my hometown, Nagasaki. Today is July, still the July, but next month, August, we always have Hiroshima, Nagasaki atomic bomb victims memorial service. So this story is on Nagasaki's atomic bomb, which my hometown. Then my father was 6 years old at the time. This is a good time to think about the peace. So I'd like to introduce this story now. So if you can come closer if you want. Sorry, this is a small story. The title is Kayoko Zakura. Kayoko Zakura, which means cherry trees nicknamed Kayoko. Composition, Hitomi Shirabe. Pictures, Noriko Okamoto. Translator, Matsuko Yoshida. Production and publication, Peace Button Nagasaki. Kayoko Zakura. At Shiroyama Primary School, located on a hill overlooking Nagasaki port in the distance, there are 6 cherry trees named Kayoko Zakura in a corner of the schoolyard. It was 4 years after that World War II ended when they were planted. The children and teachers have been taking good care of them, and they are loved by the townspeople. They bloom beautifully every year. Why do you think they are called Kayoko Zakura? 長崎港を遠くに望む高台にある城山小学校。校庭の片隅には、かよこ桜と呼ばれる6本の桜の木があります。この木が植えられたのは、恐ろしい戦争が終わって4年後のことでした。それから子どもたちや先生に大切に育てられ、町の人々に愛され、毎年きれいな花を咲かせています。この桜はどうしてかよこ桜と呼ばれているのでしょう。About 70 years ago, on August 9th, 1945, primary schools in Japan had a different name, national schools. 3 years has passed since the war between Japan and the US broke out. Enemy planes came to drop bombs on Nagasaki again and again to keep children safe. Lessons at school were stopped, and children had to study at home by themselves. Japan was troubled by a severe labor shortage because of the war, and students had to stop studying and began to work. The classrooms turned into makeshift factories. Many female students were also mobilized and began to commute from different places. From early in the morning on that day, there was a fine blue sky. The midsummer sun was already blazing. Teachers were doing farm work in the playground to alleviate the food shortage. 今から約70年前の1945年、昭和20年8月9日、その頃、小学校は国民学校と名前を変えていました。日本とアメリカとの戦争は3年が過ぎ、長崎にも敵の飛行機がたびたび爆弾を落としていきました。子どもたちの安全を守るため、校舎での授業は中止され、自習に変わりました。使われない教室は工場の一部になり、たくさんの女学生たちが仕事に通い始めました。戦争で人手が足りなくなり、学生たちも勉強をやめて働いていたのです。その日は朝から青空が広がり、真夏の太陽が照りつけていました。食料不足を補うため、畑に変わった校庭では、先生たちの作業姿がありました。 It was around 11 o'clock in the morning when the subtle noise of the airplane engines suddenly became louder. In the following moment, there was a tremendous flash of light. All over the neighborhood was engulfed by white light. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Attacked by the scorching heat, people felt as if they had been thrown into a fire. There was a tremendous blast of wind blowing away everything. The atomic bomb exploded only 500 meters from Shiroyama National School. It was the moment when the city of Nagasaki was destroyed and many lives were lost. 午前11時になるかと思う頃、かすかな飛行機のエンジンの音が急に高くなったかと思うと、ピカッ、突然辺りは真っ白な光に包まれました。ドドドドドドド、火の中に投げ込まれたような暑さが襲い、凄まじい風があらゆるものを吹き飛ばしてゆきました。城山国民学校からわずか500メートルのところで原子爆弾が爆発したのです。長崎の町が破壊され、たくさんの命が消えた瞬間でした。Even a reinforced concrete school building lost its walls, its steps collapsed, and everything was engulfed in flames, all in an instant. There was no time for the female students to escape. Help, help! Jump down from the window, a man cried. But they were on the third floor. Ouch, ouch, mother, mother, お母さん. Girls jumped down crying onto the ground. Crying voices were getting smaller and smaller and faded out. Only a few people survived while most of them passed away. 頑丈なコンクリートの校舎も壁はなくなり、階段は崩れ、瞬く間に火に包まれました。女学生たちは逃げる暇もありません。助けて、ここの窓から飛び降りるんだと叫ぶ男の人。しかしそこは3階なのです。暑い、暑い、お母さん、お母さん。泣き叫びながら窓から飛び降りる女学生たち。泣き声は次第に小さくなり、やがて聞こえなくなりました。城山国民学校で生き残った人はわずかで、ほとんどの人が死んでしまったのです。The next day, people began to be seen in the Westland searching for their children and parents, their families who don't come home. One morning, 3 weeks after the bombing, a man and his wife were seen looking for their only daughter at Shiroyama National School. They were the parents of 16-year-old Kayoko Hayashi. Kayoko was one of the female students who had been working there. They had been looking for her here and there, examining the people lying along the road and in makeshift hospitals, but they couldn't find her. This will be the last day we look for her, the father said. But the mother could hear Kayoko calling, "Mother, mother." She felt as if she could see Kayoko there. Kayoko was always saying, "Even if enemy planes come, I will never die. I cannot die leaving mother alone." 翌日から焼けた後には子供や親、帰らない家族を必死に探す人々が見られるようになりました。3週間が過ぎた日のこと、ここ城山国民学校にも一人娘を探す夫婦の姿がありました。林佳代子さん、16歳のご両親でした。佳代子さんはここで働いていた女学生の一人だったのです。お母さんが探しに来るのはこれで何度目か分かりません。道端に倒れている人をはじめ、 あちこちの病院も探しましたが、佳代子さんは見つかりません。今日で佳代子を探すのも最後にしよう、お父さんは言いました。けれどお母さんには、母様、母様と呼んでいる佳代子さんが見えるようです。佳代子さんはいつも敵の飛行機が来ても、私だけは絶対死なないの。母様を残してはいけないのだから、と言っていました。Around noon, Kayoko's mother took the stairs to the third floor in the scorching heat of the sun. There, she found part of a protecting hood in the debris of the stairs. Her mother remembered the patterns of the hood. Kayoko is here. Kayoko, her mother cried. It was no doubt the hood that Kayoko was wearing on that day. It looked like Kayoko's mouth was open in the shape of an ah sound. A Japanese word for mother is kasama, and the primary accent falls on the first syllable. She thought for sure that Kayoko died calling for her mother, Kasan, and she couldn't hold back her tear. お昼近くになり、強い日差しの中、お母様は今にも崩れそうな階段を3階まで這い上がっていきました。すると階段の瓦礫の下から防空頭巾が覗いています。お母さんはその柄に見覚えがありました。佳代子がいた、佳代子が、お母さんは叫びました。それは間違いなくあの日佳代子が身につけていたものでした。変わり果てた佳代子さんの口はあという形に見えました。きっと母様と呼びながら死んだのだろうと思うと、お母さんは涙があふれて止まりませんでした。It was the morning of the bombing. Kayoko was preparing to go to work as usual. When she was about to leave home, she said, I don't feel like going for some reason. Her mother was surprised to hear that. Kayoko seemed different than usual. So she encouraged her, saying, the day after tomorrow is your birthday. Why don't you have a day off on that day? I will make donuts for you. And she saw her off. Kayoko was silent for a while, but said a little sulkily, see you later. She felt running without looking back. Why did I make her go to work that morning, even though she said that she didn't want to go? Her mother regretted. 原爆が落とされた日の朝のことです。いつものように出かける支度をしていた佳代子さんは家を出る時になって、どうしても行きたくないのと言い出しました。いつもと違う様子に驚いたお母さんは、あさってがお誕生日だから、その日にお休みしたら大好きなドーナツ作ってあげるからと言って送り出しました。佳代子さんはしばらく黙った後、少し怒ったように、行ってきますと振り返りもせず走って行ってしまったのです。あの朝行きたくないと言った時にどうして休ませなかったのか、今でもお母さんは悔やまれてなりません。Kayoko loved music. During the war, it was prohibited to listen to the music of the enemy country. However, she played records from abroad secretly at her friend's home or played the piano at home and sang together with her friends. There was always laughter around her. She talked about her future dreams, saying, I will be a school teacher. So the parents decided to plant cherry trees at Shiroyama Primary School for Kayoko and many friends of hers who had passed away together. 佳代子さんは音楽が好きな明るい女の子でした。 戦争中は敵国の音楽を聴くことは禁じられていましたが、お友達の家でこっそり海外のレコードを聴いたり、家にあるピアノを弾き、友達と一緒に歌ったり、周りにはいつも笑顔があふれていました。将来は学校の先生になるのよと夢を話していました。そんな佳代子さんと一緒に亡くなったたくさんのお友達のために、ご両親は城山小学校に桜の木を植えることにしたのです。The sorrow of the day will never fade away. Kayoko would have eaten donuts on her 16th birthday. Whenever the mother remembered Kayoko, she visited the cherry trees. When she came here, she felt that Kayoko was by her. The cherry tree bloom with lots of blossoms in spring and give thick shade in summer. There are always cheerful children around the trees. Kayoko dreamed of being a school teacher. Whenever children see the cherry trees, they will remember the story of Kayoko, and they will convey the preciousness of peace. Kayoko lives on with these cherry trees and keep talking to them. あの日の悲しみはいつまでも消えることがありません。16歳のお誕生日に食べるはずだったドーナツ。佳代子さんを思い出すと、お母さんは桜の木を訪ねます。ここに来ると、佳代子さんがいつもそばにいるようでした。桜は春は枝いっぱいに花をつけ、夏は青々と茂った葉が木陰を作ります。木の周りにはいつも元気な子どもたちの声が響いています。先生になることが夢だった佳代子さん。子どもたちはこの桜の木を見るたびに佳代子さんのお話を思い出すでしょう。そして平和の大切さを伝え続けてくれることでしょう。佳代子さんの思いは桜の木とともにいつまでも生き続けています。はい。This is the story of Kayoko Zakura. When we, this is, 70, 80 years ago story, but when we think about, our world, the war is happening even today. So recently I received my family temple's Nagasaki's newsletter. In my older brother, his message, he said, look at your hands, look at your hands. If you do like this, we can use our hands to hit somebody else. We can also use our hands to have weapons. Then we can use our hands to grab the knives to hurt somebody else. That's possible. However, we can also use our hands to have knives to cook something delicious food. We can use our hands to create something useful. We can use our hands to put our hands together and recite Namo Amida Butsu to express our appreciation and gratitude. We all have to think how we use our hands. In Buddhism, we always think about, in the larger sutra, it says, wherever the Buddha travels, we don't have to have the weapons and soldiers. We can just respect each other, help each other, support each other, then we can live in peace. That's our ultimate goal of Buddhism. That's teaching always, have to have in your mind, in your heart. When we listen to the Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching, Amida Buddha's teaching, Amida Shinran Shonin's guidance, always listen, then reflect upon ourselves. Then how we can use this teaching in our daily life, how we can live our life following these teachings. That's always we have to think. Always. All the Buddhists, each one of us has to think about it. So that's this is today's Dharma message. To conclude my Dharma message, please join me in Gassho. Put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you.